How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Solana update. Now, I'm on the daily time frame, and I think it's important to always zoom out and not get too caught up with the immediate candles, like really zoomed in. A lot of people might look at this, and this would be the wrong thing to do. You really want to look at the broader picture. This is taking into consideration pretty much the last 2 years for Solana, and each candle representing one day. Now, the past year, 2025, you can see it's just been a dip, but all within a 2 year long range. And with this dip beginning, I can actually measure this completed move up that hit a new all-time high, just sub $300. And it shows me all the most important key Fibonacci levels that could be used as pivot points for the market. And we see that this $123 to $136 area was used as a pivot point. There were multiple areas of support, and there was this resistance here that kept on bringing those rejections back down into that area. So support and resistance marked out here. We've of course broken out through that range, and now that of course has been broken, it becomes support like you see previously. That was used as a pivot point to make a new all-time high. So now that has been broken, you can see multiple rejections from that area over the past month or so as well. This now becomes support. So any dump down into this area should, of course, be its bottom, and then pivot off of it to go ahead and break through this red box. You can see there was a separate range created after it broken through this support and this resistance to the upside. It becomes support, and then you have to find a new level of resistance. You got rejected there on 2 separate occasions. That is where it is at right now. So we're expecting it to cool down, to slow down in this general area. But as we see $261 broken, then we're entering into a new range where we don't know where its next top is, apart from using Fibonacci's. Now, I've measured this dump, which was pretty much the range that it created this year. And these would be the expected targets for Solana in the upcoming altcoin season once $261 is broken. And we see previously here, with this range here being the range high, the resistance, once it breaks out, look, it can fall back down to it a month later if it decides to, and it must hold. And you can see it tricked everyone here, including myself back then, because we actually saw progression. There was a double bottom over here, confirming this previous resistance, now support. All that needs to follow is a break through this area, confirmation that it is then, of course, support afterwards. And there was never even a confirmation of breaking this resistance. We can see there were days spent above this high, but we need those candle closures through. So there was no daily candle close above this area. That is what we're waiting for. That is exactly $261. And once we get that, similarly to this previous range over here, you break out just like that into a new all-time high, maybe as high as $400, and maybe we then come back down into this $260, $300 area. Then at that point, it should be used as a pivot point to continue even higher into $500 and $600. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you want to learn the strategy, use the links down below. I've got an ebook. You can book in a one-to-one video call with myself or be part of my Discord community.